Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtiwada. In this video, we will learn about Hackerrank React challenges which is related to the contact form. It's a basic contact form. You have to create a contact form and we have to do a basic validation on this contact form. So let me go into the problem statement. So here, this is the problem statement given by Hackerrank. So one is, he's asking us to create a contact form that collects the user information and display it below the form upon submission. And he gave some detailed requirement. The form should have the following fields. One is name, email, and a message. And also there should be a form submission is by using a submit button. And there should be a form validation. We have to validate that none of the fields are empty upon submission. That means name, email, and message are required statements. If any field is empty, then we have to display an error message. All fields are required. So it's a generic error message. It's not field to field error messages. So we have to show a generic message and displaying submitted data. So once the form is successfully submitted, we have to display entered information below that form. Clear the input fields after successful submission. So once the successful submission is done, we have to clear name, email, and message. So this is one of the basic contact form with a generalized validations. So let me go into our coding aspect. Here, I'll try to use our Bootstrap for designing purpose, and let me close this and zoom it a bit. Now let me go here. Let me get the CDN required for our CSS. Let me copy this CDN and go to our index.html. I have created this whole application by using create React app, and you can see my playlist for React. You will understand all the fundamental concepts of React application, all the fundamental concepts of React. So here I'm going into index.html, and here I'm trying to use this specific link. So the link is related to the Bootstrap application. So let me go here and get the Bootstrap content. So first thing is, we need a card. On the card, we need to have 3 specific field elements. So let me go into card, and here we have a sample card. Let me copy this and go to our app.js, remove all the existing code and just use that specific card. And let me format this. Here we have an image. We don't want an image. Let me remove this and let me save this. All the classes should be changed into class name, because class is a property as per HTML for using Bootstrap classes. But in React, we should not use class. We have to go with class name. So let me use class name and hit this. It has replaced all the classes with class name. So let me see the output for this. It's already running at localhost 3000 and hit enter. Now you are seeing some problem with the style. So already we have a style over here. In React, the style will not work in this manner. So we have to give an object format. Let me go here, give width of 18 rem and save this. Now go here, you can see the card. Now let's center this card and use our form fields on this card. So let me go here and write some set of CSS for this. So what I'll do is, I'll go with app. So already we have app.css, and inside this we have text align center. But what I'll do is, I'll make display as flex and justify content as center and save this. Now we don't want all these classes, so let me remove this and save this. Go here, you can see the card has been centered. And if you want to add some sort of margin, you can add margin top as 20 pixel and save this. Now you can see the card has been created. If we want to go with a more width, let me go with 20 rem and see here the card size has been increased. Let me zoom a bit. Now we will be creating 3 input fields inside this. So what I'll do is, first I'll change the card title to the form or contact form and save this. Now let me remove all the remaining stuff. Just I'll try to create our input fields. So how to create the input fields? Let me go here, search for form controls or form fields. So this is our form with email address and a password. I can copy one set of data. Let me copy this div, or just you can go to the form control and I can copy some specific control and go here. So what he's expecting 3 fields. So let me format this And again, this input is not having a closing tag. Let me close this tag, and I'll try to use each and every value in each and every property into another line. So this is my form. Format this, and let me copy this div again and put it over here. Let me format this label as well and go here, hit this and hit this, just for our understanding purpose what are the properties we are giving over here. So here I have created two fields. Now let me go with the third field, that is nothing but a message. So let me go with message, and it is of type text, and then we can use message as an ID, and the placeholder is enter your message. Enter your message. In the same way we have email. So here the ID I'll make it as email, and here I can use this label for message and this label for email. And let me change the format here, like enter email, and save this. Now let me copy the same div. Instead of this I'll paste the email one, and now let me make it as name, and the format is text and ID is name. Enter name. So let me go here, give enter name, save this, and now we have this email address. Let me change to name, and we have message over here, save this. And all the classes I have to change back to the class names. So let me use the class name, hit this. Now everything has been changed into class name. Let me save this. Go here to the output, and you can see the form fields all are center aligned. So I don't want to use that center align for text. So let me remove this and save this. Now you can see the contact form with name, email address and a message. So if you want to use the message as a text area, we can go with text area as well, because message cannot be fit in one specific element. So let me go with the text area. Let me copy this, or just use this one. Let me copy this and go here. Let me go to the message part. I'll just paste here, and class will be class name, and here ID will be the message, and we have this 3 rows. Let me remove this and then format. So let me go with each and every line for a property, easy to understand. So let me hit this, or we can self close this and remove this. Format, save this. Now go here and you can see a text area with a message box. So now what we'll do is, on submission we need a button. So for submitting this whole form I need a button. So let me go to the Bootstrap. Let me get the button, and we can get any of the button, like whatever we want, but I'll go with the primary button. Let me copy this and hit here. Let me use a div and then paste here, format this. Let me go with next line, and next line with this button. So let me format it. Now I'll use the class name here, save this. See here the output is primary button. So now I want to change this primary to submit. So submit form, format this, save this, and also let me move this class name with display flex, justify content, and I want to move to the right side. So let me go here, you can see the submit form. So now you have a contact form ready. Let's write our React code here now. So what I'll do is I'll maintain all this in a state. So how to use that state, how to submit the data, how to show all fields are required, we'll see that. So now what I'll do is we can use all different states for each and every form element, but that is not recommended because these all form elements are related to a single form. So what I'll do is I'll use useState with an object structure where we will be handling all the details about each and every element. So now what I'll do is I'll use form data, comma, set form data is equal to useState. Inside this useState, I will be having 3 values. So one is name, which is empty, and then email, again it is also empty, and a message. This is also empty. And also I should have a error handler. So let's talk about error handling a bit later. So let me save this, and now I'll use my event handlers over here. So first thing is value. My value will be always equivalent to my state value. So form data dot, I'll have name, and also let me use a on change handler, that is nothing but an input handler or change handler. You can use any of this. So let me use a change, that is nothing but on change is equal to, it will raise an event. So let me get an event. Inside this event we will get the value by targeting that specific element. So now what I'll do is I'll use set form data. As it is an object structure, we have to use dot 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 the previous values, and I want to override the name value. The name value will be equivalent to event dot target dot value. So this will be my value for the name. Let me copy the same thing and put it over here. So I have explained all about the state and how to use the complex state in our application in my React tutorial. You can watch that. I'll provide the link in the description. So now I have used a name. Now let me go with an email, and here I'll go with an email. Let me go with one more option, something like message, and the same message I can use here. Save this. Now we have configured our state. On submitting this particular form, I have to call an event called as onClick event. So on this onClick event, I'll use a method called as handle submit. So let me copy this handle submit, create a function. So let me go here and create handle submit, which is an arrow function. So inside this arrow function, I can print the console.log of the name. That means form data. Save this and now go here. Let me inspect and then go to the console, clear this off, refresh. So you are seeing invalid DOM property. We should not use fur attribute. Instead, we have to use HTML fur. So let me replace all my fur values with HTML fur attributes and save this. Now we are out of that warning. So let me hit this. Yeah, we are not seeing any warning now. Let me go here, give Sai Kumar and give some email testing and submit. So you are seeing all the three values, but our requirement is we have to show all the values if all the values are clearly entered by the user. But if the fields are not entered by the user, we have to show a warning message or an error message. So what I'll do is I'll maintain one more state, const error message, comma set error message. Now I'll use a state over here, use state of false. By default, I'm using false, or you can use empty also if you want. So let me go with empty. Now let me go here. I'll write some condition, form data dot email exist and form data dot message exist and form data dot name exist. If all these three are exist, then my error message will be empty always. So what I'll do is I'll use some set of values over here, like set error message to empty, else I have to set my error message again. So if there is any problem in these three elements, I have to set my error message. Set error message of all fields are required and save this. Now we have to show whenever there is a successful completion of this form data. So whenever there is a complete form data available with us, then we have to show the error message. Once the form fields are completely entered and submitted, then we have to show the complete submitted values. So what I'll do is I'll use this form data and show in the below UI. So what I'll do, I'll go here inside the card body. We can use this specific container. So what I'll do, I'll just go here and I'll create a div. And inside this div, I want to show all the values. So what I can do is I can show a paragraph with a strong label, and I will show the name over here, and the name will be equivalent to my form data dot name. And in the same way, I'll copy, paste and paste, and this is something like an email and message. So let me use message over here. Save this. Now you can see this all data. See here, you are having a name, email. Now let me try to type here, but immediately it is showing. But it should not be the case. Once I submit the form, it has to show. So what I'll do is, I'll write some set of conditions. One is the error message. So let me write the data for our error message as well. Let me use a div, and inside this div, let me copy the same thing, put it over here, and now I'll use the message over here, error message, and clear this off. So these two sections should be shown on submitting the form. So what I'll do is, I'll just wrap this into one section, making whether the form has been submitted or not. So let me use one more state called as is submitted, comma set submitted is equal to useState of false. And now initially the submission will be false, but once the user submits it, we have to set the submitted value. Set submitted of, I'll be sending this as true and save this. Now this indicates it has been submitted. So let's write the condition based on this. If the user submits it, if the user submits the form, then we have to get this whole div. So let me cut this and wrap this into React fragments and put it over here. So once the user submits, we have to show this. But if the user submitted and if you have an error, then only we have to show this specific div. So error message, if error message exists, then I have to show this. If error message does not exist, that means I can wrap this inside this with a else condition, and I can use a ternary operator and format this. Now what happens, once the user submits, it will check for the error message. If the error message exists, it will show the error message. If error message does not exist, it will show the whole form content. So that's how this whole form will be working. Let me go and test this. Here, let me give some set of values and let me give testing and hit enter. Now you are seeing all the values, but we have to clear these values. That is pending thing. And the next thing is, if I don't give this and hit submit, you are seeing all fields are required. So now what we have to do is, we have to go back and clear all the values when there is a proper submission of the form data. So now what we have to do is, if we are clearing this form data, then that would be a big problem, because this will not only clear the form data, but also it clears all the values over here. So for that sake, we have to maintain a separate state for us. So what I'll do, I'll just go here, const result data, comma set result data is equal to useState of, I have to use the same state like this, but not in contact with our form. So let me save this, and now you can use this set result data over here. I will clear the form first, set result data of form data, and then I have to clear set form data with an empty values. So let me go here and use this empty values. Copy this, put it over here, save this. Now let me go here, and also we have to change this result data, and we have to use this result data here. So I should not use the direct names, instead I have to use the result data. So now go here and clear this off. Let me give Sai Kumar value testing submit. You are able to see, and the form has been cleared. Now again, I'm giving some values, but without giving a message. So let me hit this, all fields are required. That's what he is expecting. And all fields are required should be in danger color. So let me use a class name as text-danger, which is given by Bootstrap. Let me go here. You can see all fields are required. Let me refresh this. Sai Kumar, give nothing. You will be seeing all fields are required. Let me add testing. Hit this. You can see all the values entered by that specific user. So that's how you can use all this form data. And also we can reduce usage of this submitted, because already we came up with a new state over here. So whenever you are using a new state and then submitting the values, then it has to be updated. And also we can make this set result data to empty values like this. Copy this and put it over here. Now we can get rid of this submitted if we really want to. Now let me remove this and remove this, save this. Now we are not bothering of whether the specific values has been entered or not, right? So now here I can use if error message exists, then show the error message and format this, remove this. So here, when there is an error message, it has to show the error message. That's all. And I can use and over here. So that's how we can use our whole entire application. Let me see our expected output. Here, he gave two different sample interactions. One is the form is displayed with empty fields. No submitted information or error messages are shown on the initial state. So let me go here. Let me refresh this. You are not seeing any data. That's fine. And now user actions. User fills in all fields, name John Dio, and he gave some set of example. User clicks on submit button. The entered information is displayed below the form. So let's go here and enter the values and hit submit. Now you are able to see all the values, and that's what he's expecting. And the input fields are cleared. Yes, the input fields got cleared. Now go to the user action 2. User fills in some fields and leave other empty. User clicks on submit button, no information is displayed, an error message, all fields are required. That has to be filled. So let me go here and refresh this. Let me give the values, and I'm not giving message value. Hit this, you are seeing all fields are required. So that's how you can use your contact form. So here we are using very basic concepts of React, that is useState with a simple data types and also useStates with a complex data types. So that's how we came up with our useState in React application. And also it gives you a brief understanding how to handle forms in React. This is a basic form validations by using a fundamental React library. But you can use some set of external libraries as well, like useForm is one of the hook library which is given by React again. It has many features like handling all different types of validations on a particular form. And there is something called as Formic. Formic can also be used, but nowadays people are using only functional components. So that's why useForm is the best recommended library for form validations. Hope this gave you a clear and glance understanding of React forms. And this is how the React Hackerrank example can work, and you can experiment this specific example on the Hackerrank website as well. Hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.